On Trail Radio here, and today I'm actually not going to be talking about any of this, but more specifically, what connects to that. There's many people who want to get a base station or a mobile hooked up, and for some reason, they still can't get it to talk even if they have everything hooked up properly. By hooked up properly, I mean either hooked up to their radio or hooked up to the antenna that this lines up to. Well, this is very specific to a lot of my GMRS viewers. People who use GMRS are more prone to having high losses because they are at a much higher frequency, meaning you're going to need a better and better coaxial cable. You see, whenever people first get into radio and they want to make a base station or mobile, they usually get RG8X. It's the cheapest on Amazon. You can get 50 feet of it, and it gets delivered to you overnight. But 50 feet of RG8X at a GMRS frequency is 70% loss. Meaning if you're putting 10 watts into it, you're really only going to get 3 watts out to the antenna. Keep in mind, not only are you losing power on a transmit, but, the better your coax cable is hooked up to your radio, the better the receive quality can be. You also don't want to take your cable and do this to it too much. You don't want to crinkle it and such, because that can lead to it malfunctioning and other things like that, even raise your SWR. Now, the rule is not always, it's a thicker cable, so therefore it's going to be better. Just sometimes the more expensive cable is better. For example, this is times 400 LMR, and this thing is an extremely good coax cable. Now, like I said about the GMRS thing, the lower you go in frequency, the less you need this really thick cable. Your losses will be less if I was using this for HF as it was compared to GMRS. And that goes for VHF, UHF, ham radio too. You don't want to be using RG8X. You want to be using something like times 400 LMR. Especially if you're using something that's like a 25 or 50 watt radio. If you're trying to get into a repeater and you don't know why you're not, it might be because you're simply just not getting out there. Something I actually really recommend is going to this online calculator and figuring out which coax cable is right for you. Type in coax loss RF calculator. See, I'm running 50 feet so that I can get up to my roof. My roof. And with that much length of cable, you need something thick and very tight to get all the way up there and not lose too much power. I mean, I'm still losing power. I'm probably still losing 15 to 20% with this 50 feet of LMR 400, but it's worth it.